Hello everyone, I'm Pilinoga Anastasia, and today I want to present you a project on American colonial literature, in which will enlighten the history of American colonization, its effect on literature. I will name some representatives and of course I will share my opinion about the book that I've chosen. The colonial America time period covers the time in early American history from 1607 to 1776, from the founding of the first colony to the events of American Revolutionary War and the establishment of American Constitution. Colonial settlers came to America for many reasons. Some came for religious freedom and some came to make money. On May 14, 1607, the group of settlers founded the first permanent English settlement in Virginia. Conflicts with local Native American tribes in the first 2 years brought Jamestown to the brink of failure, but then a period of peace followed the marriage of colonist John Ruffle to Pocahontas, the daughter of an Algonquian chief. They settled into 13 colonies, and the last colony was formed in Georgia in 1732. American colonies were divided into 3 regions: New England colonies, Middle colonies, and the Southern colonies. On November 18, 1620, the Mayflower Compact was signed. It was the first government document of Plymouth colony. The Mayflower Compact created laws for pilgrims for the good of their new colony. It was established that the colonists would remain loyal to King James, despite their need for self-governance. The colonists would live in accordance with the Christian faith and would create one society and work together to develop it. Native Americans, the first inhabitants of the continent, didn't develop anything we call literature. Their stories and poems were spread orally, which means the American literary history begins with the age of colonialism. The character of early American literature is strongly influenced by several factors. First of all, the first writers brought mainly English ideas and ways of writing. Secondly, the topics common in the early periods were connected with issues of living in a new land, such as agriculture and explorations, and traveling. Religion played an important part in the writer's life. Many writings of the period were sermons and theological books, commentaries on the Bible, and religious experience. Among other genres of American colonial literature, there were travel writings, historical writings, philosophical and natural science writings, newspapers, journals, fiction in the form of short stories, sketches, and novels. The representatives of this period are Anne Bradstreet, Cotton Mather, William Strachey, Nathaniel Ward, and John Woodstrow, and many others. John Smith was an English explorer and early leader of the Jamestown colony. He took great interest in the earliest English colonization in America. He became colonial treasurer of the Virginia Company. Moreover, Smith played an equally important role as a cartographer and a prolific writer who vividly depicted the natural abundance of the New World. On his travels, which began in 1610, he first visited France, Italy, Egypt, Palestine, and Cyprus. Moreover, he formed a substantial contribution to geography and ethnology and made his own journal of his travels. I would like to introduce John Smith's book, The General History of Virginia, New England, and Summer Isles. John Smith described in his book his adventures in the Jamestown colony in 1607 and the counting years. The book tells us about the Powhatan's prison and the John Smith being rescued by the help of Pocahontas and their love story. At the time of Smith's imprisonment, she was only 10 years old. It is remarkable that John Smith used in the narration in the voice of the third person. This literary method gives readers the feeling that it is told by an objective observer. Smith used the narrator to portray himself and his role in the events. The narration is quite difficult to read. The sentences in the story are long and complicated. The historical meaning of his work is essential because it was written by a contemporary of those events. I would like like to say that this story is filled with love, inspiration and adventure because it was the first story where the Pocahontas appears, and I would definitely recommend it to everyone who enjoys chronicles and adventure novels. And the story gives the objective view of the epoch, and it totally corresponds with the title, The General History of the Virginia.